115 with the Course in Miracles. Thank you for joining me for these lessons. You know, every morning I write a little letter to my divine. It's a thing that I teach when I coach people. I have a course called A Course in Creating. And one of the things that we do in that course is I have everybody write a letter every day to their divine that says, "Dear Divine, what would you have me do today?" And this Course in Creating was inspired by A Course in Miracles. And the Course in Miracles asks us every day to ask, you know, what would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say? And so this is just a jump off of that. And it, when you write it down, it just helps to be even more impeccable. So this morning I was writing to my divine. I was like, "Dear Divine, what would you have me do today?" And it was like, "Maureen, you know, you're doing a great job. Just don't move in fits and spurts. Don't move in fits and spurts. Be more consistent." Because what I was thinking was like, I'm finally doing the lessons again on YouTube. I'm going to do 6 a day, you know, to get them done. Like, that's how my mind works. Maybe your mind works like that too. And so, you know, then I really thought, like, that's a great idea. Just get them done. And it was like, no, this is not to be gotten done. This is about consistency. So much good will come for us if we practice the consistency of our spiritual practice. If we don't like try and go whole hog or do nothing, those seems to be the two modes of the ego, is to do nothing or to like overdo everything. And so what would it be like if we just did what was expected of us? Just do the lesson for the day, one a day. So that's my mad ramble for you. Hopefully it's helpful. Today is 1:15 and it says, "In the morning, my salvation is my function, and in the on the half hour, my part is essential to God's plan for salvation." So I think this is a really important lesson for us to be consistent with. Salvation is my only function here. So just like yesterday when I said you could exchange the word peace, salvation for peace, you can do, you know, peace is my only function here. If that is true, and it is true for me, to the best of my ability, I make peace my function. Yesterday I was talking about the knife. What's the knife's function? You know, what's your function as the light of the world, to bring light to the world? What is your function as a child of God? Your function is peace. That's what you're designed for. That's my function as well. My function, so this is what it says, "My function here is to forgive the world for all the errors I have made. From thus am I released from them with all the world." So in the beginning lessons, we've given everything all the meaning that it has for us. And we practice with inanimate objects around our room. But this is only a precursor to being able to practice in our relationships and in our stories. And to say, in the story where my mom did this and that, I've given everything all the meaning it has for me. In my story where my dad did this and that, I've given it all the meaning that it has for me. But today I'm going to forgive. I'm going to forgive the world all the errors that I have made. Why are these meanings errors? Because they're our perception. And our perception is very limited by our own experience, by our own 5 limited senses. And so we don't know what the holy purpose is for these experiences that we have experienced or endured, however you want to say it. Like, we don't know what that will bring us to. In the ego's interpretation, you know, if you've been with me a while, you know, I had cancer. I had thyroid cancer. I had a kid who was depressed. I have a kid who's transgender. Like, you know, I went through a horrible, horrible divorce. Like, I've been through some stuff. And if I were to think like, "God, why did you do this to me?" I would be stuck and I would not be able to fulfill my function. But when I say, I don't even have to know why that all happened. All I know is that at this point, those things that I've endured or experienced, they will now give me the possibility of being helpful to anyone else who's going through, you know, cancer or divorce or whatever. Like, I now have an authority. I now have something that I couldn't learn in a book of how it feels in your bones to experience that. And now I can actually be helpful to anybody who comes to me and is like, "Oh my God, this is going to kill me." And I'm like, "Guess what? It's not going to kill you. You're going to get through this. So you, my friend, if you're struggling with something today, not only are you going to get through it, but you're going to get to the other side of it, and you're going to actually be helpful to somebody else who's going through this. And if that's the carrot that's being dangled at the end of your spiritual walk, just like work with it. Just go with it. Because being helpful from a place that once you thought would kill you is an audacious thing to experience. It's like it allows you to walk the world with a smile of a conqueror. Like, yeah, I thought that was going to kill me, and I got up. So we are all demonstrations of the resurrection. And I want you to be a demonstration of the resurrection. I don't want you to read about it in a book. I don't want you to think it's some special thing that one brother did. You're doing it right now. Every time you get up and try again, you're a demonstration of the resurrection. And mighty things come from that. So the next section is, my part is essential to God's plan for salvation. What? My part? Your part is essential? Essential is a pretty, there's no gray area there. It says, I'm essential to the plan of God for the salvation of the world, for he gave me his plan that I might save the world. That's a huge lesson. So, on the morning we're going to say salvation is my only function. On the half hour we're going to say my part is essential to God's plan and salvation. Let's look at the word essential. It means crucial. It means necessary. It means vitally indispensable. It means required. It means a prerequisite. It means super important, urgent, critical to the success of the endeavor. That's what essential means. You are a critical piece of God's plan for salvation. So don't think you can sleep in today. Don't think you can take a spiritual vacation from the plan. The plan is love. You are equipped to fulfill the plan. And when you fully allow yourself to be lit up and used for the purpose of God's plan, you will experience an unfurrowed brow, a lighthearted step, and a greater conviction in a God that loves you. And that is what we're looking at. It stems from peace, though. So in the first lesson, when it says, salvation is my only function here, peace is my only function here. When I first started working with that lesson, I made a commitment a couple of years ago where I said, I'm really going to make peace my only goal. And when I began to make peace my only goal, a lot of other goals that I thought were important started to fall away. And I started to move at a different pace. Even though I was thinking, I'm going to do 15 lessons a day, I don't do that. I don't follow through on that. I'm like, wait, that wouldn't really bring peace. So, and I do check in with my internal teacher, and it does guide me in the way of peace. So try that out. Try writing out to your internal teacher every day, Dear Divine, what would you have me do? And then try making a commitment to doing only what you can do in peace. And try it out as a scientific experiment. And if you find that it's working for you, leave us a comment. I'd love to hear about it because an idea shared is strengthened. And we walk each other home to God. So thank you for practicing with me today. I will practice and do my part for you. And I invite you to practice and do your part for everyone. Because you are the salvation of the world, apparently. And you are very essential. Namaste. I don't know why I started saying namaste at the end of my videos. I think that first time I did it was kind of like a joke. I was like, namaste. And now it's just like my sign out. Namaste means the light in me honors the light in you. So it's actually no joke.